In investing, you always have to challenge your thesis, okay? So if you're buying a stock, if you're buying a crypto, if you're buying a piece of property, whatever it is, you have a thesis, right? You have a idea, you have a narrative, you have a reason for investing in that, right? And investing, the price of an investment is never about what that thing did yesterday. It's about what it's going to do tomorrow, right? What's the upside to owning this asset, this stock, this property, this crypto? You know, that is what you're paying for. So you have to be very well aware of what the future holds for the companies that you're investing in this case, Tesla, right? So if the thesis changes negatively, then you need to get out of the investment. If the thesis changes positively, then it may make you want to invest more. So all of that leads me to this, okay? Let's talk about Uber for a minute. So I've been riding Uber maybe since 2019, you know, and maybe before that, maybe even 2017. And when I first started riding Ubers, I'll tell you, man, like the cars were nice. The drivers like took pride in the vehicles. There was snacks, there was charging cables, right? Whatever, right? Like, you know, everything was dialed in. During COVID, it was very hard to get an Uber. And I'm talking from where I live, city of about 100,000 people, random city in America, okay? And, you know, so it was very difficult to get an Uber, you know, but they were there. And, you know, the last couple of years where I live, pretty easy to get an Uber. The drivers really didn't speak English, but the cars were nice. Probably better that way because I don't want to talk to the driver anyway. You know, so bam, right? You get the Uber, you go. Prices were a little bit more expensive, but hey, they were a little more readily available. Lately, all the drivers have spoken amazing English, but the cars have been dirty. The drivers have been smelling bad. Just not the experience that Uber was built on, right? When they disrupted the taxi business, this was not the experience that it was built on. You can see the downfall of this company happening in real time, and the cost per mile is through the roof, right? To go 6 miles is about $36 plus tip. You're almost at $7 a mile. You know, so that is very out of reach for most people, right? And, you know, the only reason why I take Ubers is, you know, when we go out to dinner, my wife and I, you know, I think it's just a responsible thing to do, right? You want to have a few drinks, you know, why drive drunk? It's stupid. There's no reason to do that now. And what's nuts is my car, on this tirade, my car is perfectly capable of driving me home, totally bombed out of my tree. I know that my Tesla on full self-driving could drive me home. I just don't want to be the first guy to be challenging that in court, because it's not really legal yet. So while I may win, and I don't know why I would even get pulled over because the car is driving perfectly, I don't want to be that guy. So we take Ubers when we go out because it's the responsible thing to do. And really, whatever it costs because it's cheaper than the alternative, which is a DUI or killing someone or myself. Okay, so all that setup, all right, is to demonstrate how Uber, who was a disruptor when they came on the scene, they disrupted the taxi business, you know, they are going through a massive downfall right now. And I think it's purely economic, right? Like, they don't pay the drivers enough. You know, the only drivers that would do it were the ones who didn't care, would work for less money. A lot of those people are gone now for various reasons. The people that you have left now to drive the Ubers need the money, so, you know, they don't really have a lot of options, I think. So there's a lot of that. So the service is degrading. Now, my Tesla thesis, guys, is not about cars. It's not a car company. I've said this many times. Watch my channel, review the history of my videos. They're an AI company that makes cars right now. That's what I've always described them as. And they are 100% actively shifting from cars to AI. So one of the big thesis, right, part of my thesis for Tesla is Robotaxi, right, and cybercabs. So this is the disruptor to Uber and all transportation, car ownership, buses, everything, right? Tesla is manufacturing cars right now, the Cybercab, that they're probably making for $25,000-ish, that eventually they will get down to about $15,000. They'll be able to sell you a ride in that car at scale with no wait time, no smelly driver, $2 a mile. So that $42 Uber ride with tip, $42, no tip in a Robotaxi, cost me about 12 bucks, give or take, you know, and Tesla will make a profit delivering you in that ride. Unlike Waymo, which currently has driverless cars, Waymo loses about $2 a mile, right? So you have to understand the competition, right? Part of your thesis should be to have firsthand knowledge of the competition. And I'm looking at the competition right now, imploding, right? They are self-destructing for various reasons. And at the end of the day, all the consumer cares about is the cost of the ride. That is the most important thing, I think. Second most important thing is they will pay a premium, as they do in Waymos now. They pay more to go in a Waymo to have no driver. But if I could give you no driver and charge you a third of the cost or less than a third, where do you think the consumer's gonna go? And everybody says, oh, Uber's got the app. The app, guys, it's an app, right? How many people right now have Uber app and Lyft app? And when the price is really out of control, you go back and forth and you check and you take the cheapest ride. What's the barrier to entry for me to download the Robotaxi app, put my credit card in, create a username, and done? And now the advantage to that app over the Uber or Lyft app is any Robotaxi I get in, it knows it's me. My YouTube, my Apple Music, everything's logged in. The air conditioning is set at my temperature that I like. I don't have to tell anybody anything. I put it in the app one time. Every car I get in, it's like it's my own personal car, right? So I don't want to hear about the app, all right? There is no Moat on an Uber app or a Lyft app. And everyone was like, oh, Tesla should buy Uber to get the app. No, they shouldn't. They got their own app, and they're very good at it. So the thesis is changing, guys, for the better. My Tesla thesis has improved over the past few weeks by the terrible Uber rides I've taken. It has made me really realize that this Tesla Robotaxi thing literally has wheels, right? It's gonna go, man. And it's gonna be bigger than anybody is thinking, bigger than anybody realizes, you know, because the competition is getting so bad and they're letting themselves get disruptive. And maybe it's innovator's dilemma. Maybe it's they just realize like they know what's coming and they just, whatever, they're just gonna milk it for as much as they can. You know, whatever it is, guys. But thesis has gotten better faster than I thought it would get better for reasons that I thought would be reasons, but are really coming to the light, and you're seeing Uber not even put up a fight. So guys, 100%, always challenge your thesis, always look for new upside or potential downsides that you didn't consider and react accordingly. So you know what my reaction is gonna be. All right, that's how this is done. It's not rocket science. You know, just understand the core business, understand what you're investing in, understand what the outside forces are, and understand how the business you're investing in is gonna play it. All right? Take it easy. I can't wait to ride in a Robotaxi. I can't wait to see everybody who hates Elon Musk and Tesla make videos the first time they go in a Robotaxi, you know, showing off on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok how the car has no driver and they're watching TV and sleeping. All right? Take it easy, guys. Later.